Capricorn.
Hello Capricorn, this is your forecast for February 2014, and it's going to be a great month financially here for you. New things coming into being, and I think you'll feel it already from the very, very top of the month, if not sooner. If you're listening to this on the January end of the forecast, well, then pay attention to the last couple of days there. We have the new moon in January on the 30th. So 2 new moons in January and a full moon. February we only have 1 moon. That is the full moon on Valentine's Day, and I'll get back to that in a little bit. But so yes, this new moon is where you want to put your intentions, as we always do on a new moon. It's going to be in your 2nd house for income. This is why it's important. And the sun is here in this very same area. So this is the time of the year, and you only get 1 shot of it. Once every 12 months to focus on this area so you can grow it and expand it. Use that law of attraction that works so really, really well. Now, the second factor that's really putting money on the chart here for you is Venus. Venus is moving direct January 31st, which has been retrograde from December 21st. So it's been working over something, some negotiation, some agreement, or some project that you've been working on. So you might have felt like it was, or has been, a little bit delayed. It was on a very good forefront motion, but the delay, you'll come to see how this has behooved you in the aftermath, because as it turns around and moves forward again on January 31st, it's touching upon Pluto. They're conjunct, they're doing the dance. And it's in your 1st house, Capricorn. So you will feel this power, this energy that's around you. And money is ruled by Venus, and so is love. So either there's going to be an intense energy surge of the financial aspects. Also could be a very intense energy surge on the romantic level for you here, just as we start off February here first. Now, that said, Venus is going to be picking up speed and moving slowly to begin with, but then picking up speed throughout the month. And it's still in your 1st house, which is a beautiful area where all women can envy you, having Venus in the 1st house, and for having it for as long as you have. It's been there ever since December. So you have like 2 full months there, and Venus radiates when it's in that 1st house, because the 1st house is you, it's your personality. So this inner empress, the goddess energy comes out, and that's what you give out and how you come across to others. So enjoy this period for as long as it lasts. It's going to be a whole year to next time, and you will see how whatever financial talks top of the month, how that is just going to melt in, streamline as we move throughout January, especially when we get into March, when Venus then also enters into the financial sector of your chart. So we have here also what I feel that you're going to be happy to hear about, Capricorn, because you're not all of you are workaholics, but you have goals, and you're a goalaholic, if we could call it that. And so you're going to have a lot of time to work on these goals, work on your ambitions, work on your careers this year. As Mars normally takes 6 weeks to transit through a sign, well, right now it's going to be transiting through the area of career until June, July. So you've got many, many months here to tweak it, to work it. It's moving forward right now. Next month it's going to turn retrograde, so you can go back and refine it. So this month you really want to be focused before it turns retrograde, to put in place all those things that you see that you're going to be needing, what you want. Once again, law of attraction, keeping these things on the horizon, and you will see how you are gaining respect around you and in your specific field, just because right now your energy is extra dedicated. And I'd like to say, even though it's dedicated and can be fierce, because it is so pinpointed, it's also very balanced because it's transiting through the sign of Libra. So you're being very fair and just and standing up for what you believe you deserve. That's the one side of the scale. And at the same time, not being arrogant about it. So you're maintaining this beautiful sense of balance around you. And that is also something that I think people around you can pretty much admire here until summer. Then we have Mercury. Let's talk about it because we have that retrograde month upon us again, and it will retrograde February 6th, and so no contracts, papers, or anything else, documents to be signed after the 6th until the 28th. Now from March 1st onwards, you're good to go. Even better yet, if you can hold off, if it's really important, until March the 20th, when Mercury then moves out of its shadow. So from the 1st to the 6th, good time to sign. If you're listening to this in January, you would probably want to hold off even in January because Venus, which rules love and money and profits, if this is work related, it's not a good time to sign contracts because your profits may be cut short. You don't want to see that happen either. But that is turning around on the 31st, so you have a small window, which is the 1st to the 5th. Okay, I'd hold off on the 6th because that's the day Mercury turns retrograde. And on the very days they either go retrograde or they turn stationary and go direct are always the worst days because then it's like there's a jam. It's like putting your clutch in the wrong gear. So yeah, so the 1st to the 5th, a very small window of time, and then as I said, any time in March should be okay. What you can be working with this month though is all about focusing on your Mars goals, which is your career, and also how you want to balance this between home and family life. We got Uranus in your 4th house for home and family, which has been undergoing some transformation here for a little bit for some of you. These changes can have to do with elderly parents for a percentage of you. Others might be or have been looking at moving or changes going on in your marriage situation. Some of you have separated. Others of you are more looking at, well, what needs to go and what needs to stay and how can we work it. And in that, there's a sense of renewal, and this renewal is very exciting for you, Capricorn. You're very dynamic right now, and you see things very clearly, and you have Jupiter in this area of committed relationships, which is really giving you a big, shall I say, oomph and support right now to look back over everything that's been achieved and accomplished so far on your journey with your partner. And Jupiter is currently retrograde until April 8th. So you have this time to kind of tweak it, right? And in a good way. I see it being harmonious though. I see you working together here, trying to understand each other, listening to each other is equally as important. And by time of April, I think conclusions will be quite clear. So in the meantime here, this is what you have to work with. It's your tools. And when we're forearmed, we can really make magic happen in our lives. Now let's talk about this full moon because this month it's a little exciting. It's happening on Valentine's Day. So for those of you who are in new romantic relationships, it's going to be a fantastic day. Lots to look forward to. The moon, the full moon is in the sign of Leo, which is all heart. It's all joy. There's pride and a feeling of extra boost, as the Leos do. And for you, it's in the 8th house. So it's not going to want to be out public. You know, sometimes we have Valentine's Day public out where we're seen, and but this is more going to be more of a retreat for you and your partner. It's in the 8th house, which is the house of Scorpio, so it's more private, it's more intimate, so you might just feel that this is something very special for the two of you, For those of you meeting somebody here relatively new or brand new, well, this too will have a mix of something that feels both genuine, intimate, and real. So for all of you, I believe it's going to be a great Valentine's Day this year. And especially the way the stars are looking for you on the 15th, the day after, well, the sun is aligning here to Mars, so there is a feeling that you are aligned with this energy, you're strong, you're confident, you're capable, there's new goals, maybe you had some commitments between the two of you yesterday, where is leaving you feeling that you know exactly where you're heading, so you're not just hanging in midair. So fantastic Valentine's Day this year. Not always does it come here in this area or in this sign. So we have for you top of the month. It's going to be a little quiet, after the initial insight news or tidbit there about your financial situation. And I think this is the universe giving you a little bit of a breather, because yes, it was pretty intense from mid-December and throughout the holidays and New Year's, kind of slacking off a little bit there in January. But right now, first 10, 12 days, not too much going on, so you can have a little time just to kind of sink in and bench a little bit. And then we're back on the mark on the 11th, when you might have an interview or something scheduled. Seems to be important, and whoever you're speaking with, it looks like they might want to have not only your insight, but maybe also a decision from you. But I'm seeing the sun being square here to Saturn. You're not quite sure, okay? You might be enticed, but you may not be quite sure quite yet. So hang off. You don't have to make the decision quite yet, even if it sounds like it. But I say that because on the 16th, you'll be in a better position to look at it again and look at it from a fresh standpoint, and know a little bit more where you're at, so that your decision can be expressed on the 19th, at least to take it that one step further. But I'm still saying that you're not totally convinced. You're seeing something more than what you did on the 11th. But if you can hold off here to the 25th, I see conviction. So this is all the same in one situation spread out. And Mercury still retrograde. Maybe this is why you're wanting to take time. But even on the 25th, as good as both Venus and Saturn looks, okay, because it's kind of hooking something in, locking something down, that is handfast, that allows you to feel what you've been seeking all month, to feel that you're empowered. If you can wait then from the 25th to March 1st before you sign, you are great. Okay? We want all the planets to work with us when we start off on new things. So what do we have? We have Jupiter retrograde. Yes, as I mentioned, it will be to April 8th. We have Mercury retrograde from the 6th to the 28th. We also have the full moon on February 14th. These are dates to note here now. And then this is pretty much what we have here, February for you. We have a lot more coming in here in March, so if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so now, so you can receive it to your inbox. And before you leave now, Capricorn, do go and listen to your moon and rising sign. There's a lot more information that will fill out your chart for you by doing so. Bye now.